Thank you for coming today. I very much appreciate it. Erin, would you like to open us in prayer? Or a verse? Or a blessing? Whatever.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Be happy to. We've got some changes coming. And so I looked up some change references in the scripture today, and I want to share this one with you. For our present troubles are small and won't last very long, yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. What we have here in this life is each other. And so today I offer a blessing for us, that we would see each other and recognize each other and hold each other up during this time of change, which is only for a little while. Go in peace. That's
Thank
your
you.
phone.
Yeah,
No,
leave
that's-
my phone and take your phone.
Got it.
And go in peace. Oh, so we alluded a little bit as to what would be discussed today. So on Monday, if you came to town meeting, Tim mentioned that we had a flood in the lower level, and of course, most of you who live in Oak South or even walk down there know that we had a flood. And the flood was on the 11th of April, so it was an unnamed thunderstorm, which is too bad. We consider it a flash flood, and so we know that quite a bit of water was dumped on our area. And Lake Ammonia got upwards of 11 inches, and we got our fair share here too. So the interesting thing about the lower level of Oak South and Perry Center, and many of you may know this, there's a garage on either side. And the garage on either side is where vehicles come in and comes down on a slope. And during a rainstorm, that acts as a flume. And so we had water intrusion on both ends, which Tim, as a former submarine commander, finds very unnerving. He doesn't like it at all. So he was contacted about 1 o'clock in the morning, and by 2:30 he was here and working with other team members to get the water up. He also went and bought an additional pump because several of our pumps, we have 4, had actually failed. They actually ran and ran and ran until they burned out and failed. And so he got another one, and it ran until it failed. So we continued to have water intrusion downstairs. And so Karen and her team, Tim and his team, also got contractors, got the water up really, really quickly. So it was actually impressive because I was walking around about 10:30 and I didn't see much water. So I was really, really glad that they got it up, and they had fans, dehumidifiers, and so forth. So Main Cleaning Solutions was here about 5 o'clock, extracting water, did an outstanding job. So, and it was substantially out by about 10:30. So anyway, and they went ahead and pulled their dehumidifiers and so forth. We left several of ours in place, fans and dehumidifiers. So we contacted some of the folks at our home office. Our vice president of construction and design was actually here last week, and we walked the property and decided to engage an outside group. The outside group is Coastal Reconstruction. And Coastal Reconstruction came on site, took moisture readings, and said, it looks dry, but it really isn't. Most of the places still have moisture. So they contacted a hygienist that they had, and the hygienist came to us, and the hygienist continued to take moisture readings and said, one of your biggest issues is in your false facades that you have going down the hallway, because those are multiple layers deep. It's not just one layer that you can dry out. So we walked with him, met with him, had a very good conversation with him, and he is going to make some recommendations to us as to next steps. But we do know one thing for sure: those next steps will require us to close down the lower level of Oak South and Perry Center. One of the reasons we're going to need to do that is because we believe the wisest thing is to get maintenance and dining up and running first. I think that is one of the things we need to have our maintenance staff available to you, and our dining director as well, Laura from Lifelong Learning as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start closing down specific spaces and reallocating programs. I don't know of any program that's being canceled. As I look at Meredith and Lynn, no programs are being canceled, but they are being moved. And it's very important to us that you be able to continue enjoying your programs here as well. And we know that it's not just programming, there are other things to consider, the salon and the country store and so forth. So anyway, we've actually already started looking at alternate locations for our staff to be placed during the likely months that it will take to have everything visqueened, closed, rerouted. We are going to do this the right way. We are not taking shortcuts. We're going to make sure that the hygienist comes back, gives us a thumbs up reading so that we can reoccupy that space. So he's already given us preliminary. We do not have the final report yet. We just have a verbal. So that we know where sheetrock is probably going to need to be cut and removed. Because what I didn't realize, and maybe many of you do, is the sheetrock wicks up the moisture. And that moisture wicked up in some places 4 feet. In most places 2 or less. So the area that has brick block walls can actually have the baseboard removed and be sanitized. And the coastal reconstruction crew will be the people doing that. And then our construction crew will come back in once the moisture readings are taken again and it's verified that we have a thumbs up. And I'm glad Tim is here because you're going to correct me if I say anything misleading or that I didn't absorb, because I've been absorbing a lot of information very quickly. And so we will have a reconstruction crew come in. It'll also give us an opportunity to relook at the space and see if we want to do any updates as well. But we will not be removing any furniture from those spaces at this time. So we are moving our personnel, and we're very, very happy that our personnel have found places. Some of you are still looking, I know that, for those locations. We're extremely blessed that it did not affect the health center at all. It tried to make its way up to the health center, but that little slope, that slope stopped the water. So we're very pleased about that too. One of the things that Fitness and Lifestyles has done has looked at all the places they can relocate your classes and programs. And there are 2 stacks of papers right here where it's already been taken care of. All you got to do is pick up, and starting Monday, you know exactly where to go for your class, your fitness or lifestyles class. The people in the beauty salon are relocating to 2nd floor, Perry Center. So that's a nice, big, good-sized beauty salon. And it has a waiting area, so we really like that. So I've asked a couple people to come here, including Paul and Tim, so that you can add your remarks as well. So the once the hygienist gives us the go-ahead and exactly what we need to do, we were going to follow that to the letter, and we're going to make sure that all of the space is ready for you to enjoy again. So before we get any further, Paul, would you like to discuss Country Store with us? And Martha's back there. She has tomatoes at $25 per tomato. If you want to get those during the discussion and throw them. So,
I like how you brought that up as I came up to the stage.
That was truly not intentional, but it did work out to my benefit. Okay, Paul. So, Country Store.
Good afternoon, everybody. So as you know, we're going to be making some adjustments in lieu of this information and what we're going to need to do downstairs. So a couple of things that we're going to be working on in the coming weeks, so to be patient and bear with us as we make those adjustments. One of those things will be the coffee machine downstairs. We will be working on getting that set up just outside of the bistro area. So there will be a location that we're going to be setting up that'll be to the left of the marble countertops, just on the other side of this wall. and we will be setting up a water line there, and we will be relocating that machine and all of its amenities to that particular space.
And
Now-
Paul, how many times did we bring up the coffee?
At least several times. I mean, I don't know if I have a number, but it was.
First thing every one of us mentioned.
So we are trying to prioritize that. Our plans are, if we get our line dropped and with the communication of our vendor, hopeful to have it done by the middle of next week. At the end of next week is hopeful at the latest, and I will be continuing to work on that, and we will communicate with you as we make those adjustments. Something else in addition to that is for dining committee members, the dining committee meeting, if you haven't heard, is going to be moving to the left side of the dining room. So for those of you in that meeting, Dee, just so that you're aware of that, we're going to make that move upstairs. We'll be in the dining room for that. Now, in terms of the country store, what we're going to be doing is we're going to work on a temporary integration into the bistro. Now, this is going to be a process that we will be working on gradually and intermittently trying to incorporate as many elements as we are capable of integrating into the bistro over the next couple of weeks. What I do know is that after tomorrow, we will cease the operations downstairs for the country store to start to make that transition. So my advice would be definitely take the opportunity to come downstairs tomorrow during the hours of 2:30 and 4 o'clock. Clean us out so we can make that move up here and do what we can to provide as many of what the country store has to offer you as possible. And additionally, please take the opportunity if you're down there tomorrow or if you have time to contact me. I'm going to try to stay somewhere close by at the conclusion of the meeting. Try to think of the necessities of the country store that you feel are most pertinent to what you feel you get from the store, so that when we are putting in there, if it is a limitation, we'd like to make sure that the things you need prioritize over the things that we want, and that we can add those things gradually over time, but at least we can try to make sure that we have the necessities for you. And then, of course, if you have any other questions, again, we're all ongoing in the process of learning and doing the best that we can to help you all with that. So, and again, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. We will be moving upstairs, so if you need to locate me, you'll probably see me in and around the dining room plenty. And of course, Michelle as well is a voice that you can communicate with additionally. So thank you.
Thank you. Meredith, would you like to come up and discuss fitness?
Good afternoon. So, like she said, the good news is nothing has been canceled with fitness. We're just moving around a little bit. I have a new schedule. It's already on the MyW Life app, and then we also have it on the back table. Your new schedule is on yellow. Yellow. Okay. It also has the date on the top. See, I'm learning. 6 months in, I'm learning. We got this. Okay. All right, so our new class schedule will start May 13th. That's Monday. Most of the classes we were able to move to Canopy Oaks. The classes we were not able to move will be on the 4th floor of the Perry Center. And that's pretty much the biggest change. If you have personal training sessions, they will be held at Canopy Oaks. Any questions regarding that? All righty.
Welcome to the excitement of living at Westminster Oaks. We have done our best to move everything to a new location that is available consistently, so that you're not saying this week we're here, next week we're there. That we're moved you to a location that is consistently available now through the end of the year. They told us to plan 4 to 6 months out, so that's what we've planned. I have a new back page of the WOW. I will put it on that table that has all of the new locations on it. It's a single page. It has all of the new locations on it. The back side of it has the things that meet weekly, like Bible study, where it's going, trivia. I just did that, so it's just a real quick thing for you to see, and it's on the back. It tells you about worship services, and it also tells you where committees will be meeting. If you do not find your group on this list, and there are some private ones that just meet one-on, I don't have them on here. I will contact you individually today or tomorrow to let you know where your group is meeting, or you can seek me out and let me know that. Please be considerate when you come to these rooms. We may have had to stick somebody in right before you, so you may not be able to get in your room 10 minutes early when you come, because we may have had to put a group ahead of you and you're used to having the room available before you get there. That may not be the case. Please be patient as we do this. People know that they've got to move through and get out, that somebody's coming behind them and that kind of thing. All right, that's all I got. But this is you, not me. I
Thank
don't want your
you.
phone.
And I see Mary Ann at the back, so she has already made arrangements for her group to move to second floor Perry Center. That's a nice big beauty salon. I don't know if you've ever been there before. So she will be able to have all the same services there for you available. So I know that hair is very important. Very important. At any age, it's very important. So Mary Ann's been really flexible with her group and said, hey, we're happy to go up to second floor. The nice thing about the second floor of Perry Center is there's a little waiting area right there. So you can sit there and enjoy, sit there and watch a TV program or whatever while you're waiting to get in. So I think you will enjoy that as well. So, and Tim, I don't think you had anything to add. He's here making sure that I'm giving you all the updated and most current information. So we believe that we may start as early as a week from now in closing and visqueening off our sections. So it's very, very important that we tell you once that happens, please do not cross the barriers, the thresholds. Do not unzip or go through caution tape or anything like that. We know that curiosity abounds, and we know many of you in your previous lives have done these kinds of things before, but like we said, we want to get it right, and we want to get it clean, and we want you to be able to occupy the space and enjoy it as quickly as possible. So if we've got microphones, we're going to start taking questions. So we've got a question right here.
What about recyclable?
You know, I saw the recycling door, and I thought I got to do something about that. And I have not. So, Karen? So Karen and I will work on that. She said that y'all have had recycling on each floor before. So Karen, if you'll make that a particular priority so that people will know where to put their recycling. Go ahead.
I have a
So,
question.
and I'd like to add, I'll be right there.
Okay.
The art, if you have art in the art gallery, that will be closed down. That will be phase 2. Phase 1 is going to be maintenance, and the exact opposite hall, which I think we're calling it the housekeeping hall, but I don't think it's the double doors where we have a lot of storage. Mostly you don't go back there unless you're going to the boutique storage. So, so we will have that closed down so that we can reuse those areas, get our staff back up and running quickly. Okay, so question?
Yes.
Oh.
Right here.
I do have some questions. I think it's very obvious that the planning looks very, very good. I think the folks have done an outstanding job.
Thank you.
We've only lived here 44 months, excuse me, and so on average, there's been a flood every 22 months. And I didn't perhaps understand the initial comments about what is really specifically being done to eliminate the floods in the future and eliminate the cost associated with
Okay.
remediation and anything else that's involved.
So I'm going to hand the microphone to Tim, because it just seems like the thing to do.
picks on me all the time. Okay, so basically what happened, we had a lot of water come down in a very short period of time. Normally it takes me 42 minutes to get to work. It rained so hard that I was basically an hour and 42 minutes to get here. I went through, even on my road, which is, even during Hurricane Michael, did not flood. I hit 2 feet of water. Didn't know it. It was completely black outside. So I fortunately drifted across that water and got to the high side and continued on. I was really impressed. I have a Nissan Pathfinder and it didn't die on me. Okay, having said that, by the time I did get here, the vast majority of the storm had been spent. But we have, at Perry Center, we have 2 pumps that were downsized from 4-inch evacuation pumps to 2-inch at some point in the past. I don't know, 10 years ago maybe. Same thing was done at Oak South, and consequently, one of them is a 2-inch pump, and one is the original 4-inch pump. However, there was, again, way in the past, some very poor decisions were made. One was to take a downspout and off the roof of Oak South and completely dump all that water right there at the garage entrance to Oak South. Makes no sense, okay? So by the time I got here, the 2-inch pumps at Perry Center, there's a big sump there, were literally smoking. So we had the one pump finally gave up the ghost and had fire coming out of the top of it. We got our gas-powered pump, hooked that up, it ran for hours until it died. We now have one pump that's new and working, and I have proposals coming on 4 new 4-inch pumps. That is the original design for the building. So that, I mean, I am an engineer, but I didn't design this building, so I'm assuming that that will be adequate for our water evacuation needs. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to know what is happening to our storage rooms?
Oh, my.
Because,
Okay.
because this is not the first time that I was, a couple of years ago, we were flooded out again, and it went over, sits on, or everything sits on the wood,
Right.
and it was washed away. So I'm afraid
Well-
of what it looks like now.
Well, the good news is, during our evaluation, we had main cleaning services here with several big vans for water extraction. And that, basically, they started at Perry Center, which is why we had a river running from Oak South to Perry Center. I mean, literally was flowing like a stream. So because we were able to get them here so early, we didn't have any high water in Oak South Garage or in Oak South itself. So to answer your question, if your storage unit is up on 2x4s, you're fine. However, anything that's sitting on the floor has got to be disposed of.
Well, mine is right outside where the store is
Right.
and St. Francis is.
That one's good.
As you walk in that door, you're right at my
Okay.
storage unit.
Yes, that one is good. It was high and dry. So we're okay there. Yes.
This is a different question other than the construction. They were collecting food for W.T. Moore, and I originally was told it should go down to Lynn Kimball's office. I assume that that has to be changed.
Repeat that.
We will announce that new location as soon as we figure it out. Yes, ma'am.
Another, excuse me, storage question. Before you close it off, the one that I have my things in is right off the fitness center near the coffee pot area. So can I, how soon will you cut it off that I can't get in there and get my things?
Okay, that we don't know. Again, we do not have the industrial hygienist report yet. It's supposed to be in our mailbox by close of business today, if not by the time we get here in the morning. He will be the one to determine what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. I mean, I did not want to close down the maintenance hallway because that's where everything is.
Yeah.
However, he's like, well, I can't sign off on it unless we do it my way. So,
Right. So
I mean, there's
I
no.
mean,
there's-
even if it's not getting wet, it'll be closed off maybe, right?
Well, yes, and again, I don't have the report, but my understanding is we have to get everything that we can out of that area so that they can do their mitigation.
Well, I'll do
Oh.
the same. I'll get everything I think I
Well,
need.
we can't do that yet. Let's wait for the hygienist report. He'll tell us what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. The last thing we do, what, I'm sorry?
We'll have additional.
Yeah, we'll have additional information hopefully
Okay.
beginning of the week.
All right, thank you.
But right now, yeah, we don't want to move things throughout the building, possibly spreading contamination. So, just to be extremely safe, we need to leave things in place where they are for right now.
We have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, another storage question regarding the storage outside the exercise room. Has there been damage there? Has water been absorbed there? I didn't catch all of that question about that area.
Okay, we have done a survey of all the storage areas. So the storage areas that come off of the elevator lobby area, outside where the country store is, those are okay. They're up off the ground, and from what we've seen, there's no problem with them. However, caveat, wait on the industrial hygienist. The areas that are storage that are accessed from Oak South Garage, the big garage outside, the elevator lobby, those have some storage on the ground. That we cannot touch. So that's, again, we'll have a plan from Coastal Reconstruction and the industrial hygienist, but right now we just want to bring everybody up to speed where we are. I can't definitively say yes or no on any of that.
Okay, because of the front off of near the popcorn machine, you said that was good. There was no damage there.
That's correct.
I'm talking about, can you say the same thing about the storage area off of the exercise room?
Fitness.
Yep, to my understanding, all that's okay because it's up on 2x4s.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Lynn? No? Oh, okay.
One of the elephants in the room is the boutique. Three of the 5 supervisors are sitting here. Can we meet with you afterwards and let you tell us what's going to happen in that area?
Yes, ma'am, at $100 per hour each.
We only
Not a problem.
charge $200
Okay.
an hour, so it's okay.
Everyone's a comedian.
I've got to laugh.
I recently read that hurricane season starts on
Isn't that great timing?
June 1st, and that means a lot more rain. Are we going to be able to install anything that will help mitigate all the water damage if we have downpours again like this?
Yes, that's what the upsizing of the pumps, again, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, somebody decided to save $1. And they went from a 4-inch pump that needed to be replaced and downsized it to a 2-inch pump. And if you look at the pump curves and how it all works, that's not 50%, that could actually be as low as 30% of capacity. Because they don't have the same pressure head, blah, 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 I don't want to go into it, but we are going back up to a 4-inch pump.
And what about the sloping driveway that is a wonderful course for,
That's a great
water
design
flow.
flaw.
yeah.
I can't say enough about that. And again, we have the cards that were dealt. Keep in mind, if it had been a named storm, we would have had all of our hurricane preparedness in place. We would have had sandbags and cofferdams, et cetera, to prevent this from happening. But this was forecast as some thunderstorms overnight. That's what it was. Not 8.5 inches, 100-year rain, so.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm just a little confused, and I know there will be a schedule for the formal activities, but you mentioned that it's going to be in stages and it's going to start in the Perry Center. So what I'm wondering is, at the other end, can we use the fitness center on our own?
No.
Can
No.
we use the table tennis room on our own?
No.
Okay, thank you.
So, I mean, again, we don't have the hygienist report, but the
But that's what you,
conversations that we've had is we need to get dining services taken care of and maintenance back up as quickly as possible. At that point, the plan as of yesterday in our out briefing was basically to hand over everything from the art room, all the way in Perry Center, all the way down to Oak South Garage. So that's about 204,000 square feet. And there's
Okay.
there's a comment up here.
What is
Question?
the status of mold?
Oh, good question. Basically, we did have our industrial hygienist was here yesterday, and he has some technical jargon that he uses that I don't know. But basically, he was testing for mold-sized particles in the air of 2.5 microns. He said our air is great, not a problem. So that's now. However, once we open up the walls and start the mitigation process, nobody can be down there. Nothing can be down there.
Was there any structural damage?
No,
Tim?
no
Tim?
structural damage at all. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. No structural damage.
No.
Oak South, all our garbage goes down the chute.
Mhm.
Is that gonna affect all of us living?
That's something else that we have to figure out. You're absolutely right.
Oh, dear.
We can have access, and we'll have to figure that out and work in close conjunction with coastal reconstruction. So again, that's something that's going to have to be on an industrial hygienist reclamation plan, whatever he wants to figure out how to do.
She has a
Yes, ma'am.
question.
The chapel will be part of the second phase of remediation. Right now, it still is stinky, to put it bluntly. The carpet's been in there for I don't know how many years, and apparently it's gotten wet before over the years, in which that smell is transferred to both the wood in there and to the concrete. So all that's going to have to be sanitized and basically removed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You referred to community spaces in your note, your letter you wrote. By community spaces, did you by any chance mean the spaces that individuals rent to take care of some of their things?
So storage spaces? Yes, you will not have access to your storage spaces until the mitigation is done. The mitigation does not take as long as the reconstruction. So tearing stuff out, they can do that pretty quick. They still have to take a reading before the reconstruction can begin, so that reading has to be clean.
Okay,
And then the reconstruction is what takes time.
if I don't completely understand, where do I go?
Tim?
Because I don't understand everything that's being said about it. Is there some place we can get some of this written down?
Okay, once they start the remediation, in other words, start removing the materials that are moist or damp or whatever, you won't have access to anything on a lower level. As I won't either, on a very, intermittent basis.
They have to heat it up like an oven.
Well, yeah, it has to be, the humidity has to be brought down immediately. It'll be warmed up to try to cook some of the moisture out of the concrete, out of the flooring. I mean, all that tile flooring down there on lower level.
Well, I think I want to know if we're supposed to clear that out ourselves, our
Again,
own belongings,
uh,
out of a storage area?
Okay, just to be clear, we don't have that report yet, but my guess would be that all the storage spaces will have to be cleared out prior to us actually going in.
That's what I wanted to know, is
Yes.
storage space.
Again, I don't have that information 100%. We'll know more tomorrow.
Okay, but you'll let us know.
I will, yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
thank you.
Yes, I haven't heard anything about the clinic.
Can we hold up a hand?
Yes, right over here.
Oh, there we go. Go ahead. The clinic, we're looking at possible relocation areas, but yes, it will be part of the remedial work that we do downstairs.
Yes, ma'am.
Are
Yes,
any
sir.
of these costs covered by insurance?
Yes, they are. Of course, we have our deductible we'll have to pay, but we have an insurance adjuster that's supposed to be here somewhere today. Oh, tomorrow, they rescheduled. So the insurance adjuster will be here tomorrow, and again, I don't know how long that'll take for him to turn that around, but yes, it is covered by insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
My question is, in real time, I have an activity in the theater on Monday from 3 to 4. Will that be there, or will that be relocated
Relocated.
this coming Monday?
This coming Monday, you will be relocated,
Okay, thank you.
right?
Yeah, right.
There's a sheet in the back that Lynn put together, just take a look at that. Yes, ma'am.
Other questions?
One more here.
Oh, in here.
I can't hear you.
Lynn? There's a meeting tomorrow. Can the two of you connect? Okay. Yeah, catch up with Lynn real quick. Yes, ma'am.
We still can have movies here, right? At night?
In this room? Yes,
Uh-huh. Okay,
absolutely.
good.
Laura, I'm saying nothing has changed in
Yeah,
McGuire.
everything is the same for McGuire. Yes.
Hi, my name's Kathy Caproth, and I wanted to share with you that the newly restored nativity scene has been stored in the storage area off of the fitness center. So whatever phase that's in, just keep your eyes open for if that has been damaged or not.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Well, thank you for your, oh, I thought I was getting out of here. Yes, ma'am.
I've missed something. I know you're gonna meet with the boutique people. Are you going to find a place for the boutique so that it can continue during this construction time?
Probably not.
Wow, that's gonna hurt us financially. Go buy stuff now.
Well,
The boutique's closed.
the boutique is currently closed. There's a lot of damage to that area also. Any other questions? Oh, one more in the back.
Will there be any assistance available for moving things out of the storage units?
To be honest with you, we haven't gotten that far in the plan. Any other questions? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So I hope this was helpful. Go ahead. So what we want to reiterate right now, please don't go to your storage units till we have the chance to tell you, give you the go-ahead or not, okay? Please don't go to the storage unit areas, all right? So it's important to us that we get that report and know what our next steps are. They're steps we have to follow and you have to follow as well. We all have to follow them. So just please be aware of that, okay? Any other questions for me? Okay, again, we will keep you updated as we go. And what information I can put in the weekly, I will try to get push out to you through the weekly as well. Okay? Thank you so much.